Thank you very much. Good evening and welcome to Statesmen of Comedy. Each week I'll be joined by some of the very best of Australian comics. And this week, no exception, of course. We have the great man himself, I have to say, from Comedy Company to Kath and Kim, Can We Help But Love, Pete Rowsthorn.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, thank you. It's so exciting.
If I was going to Comedy War, I would take this lady to the trenches with me. She is the one, the only, Rachel Berger.
Thank you.
And formerly the wild man of comedy, now just from the wilds of Tasmania, please welcome Anthony Morgan. Well, you know,
it's been too long.
I don't know. You know, I mean, you're probably still a wild man, Anthony. I don't know.
Look at him.
You wouldn't know unless you came up to my joint and...
Well, down to your joint, I would say.
I live halfway up a mountain, though, so you've got to go up at some point.
How long have you been down there, mate?
10 years.
10 years. And are you a local yet?
No. I was talking to a bloke there in the little town where I'm from, and he'd come down there from Hobart 35 years previous, and he said to one of the old local blokes, "How do you get to be a local here?" And the bloke said to him, "You get buried here."
All right, well, let's start batting him up. Let's go to the first segment, and that is do-it-yourself disasters. I have to admit, I'm not a do-it-yourself person at all.
Wow.
I'm a someone else do-it person at heart. Like, I had to go and buy an outdoor setting. And so I went into a department store and I walked around going, does that come in a kit? Yep. No, I don't want it. Does that come in a kit? No, that's no good. And I said, what about that chair and tables over there? They said, well, it does come in a kit, but we'll actually give you that one off the floor. Ooh. So I went, OK, no worries. So a week later, there's a knock at the door and there's a bloke standing there with a flat box under his arm.
What?
I answered, I said, hey, what the hell's that? He said, that's your outdoor setting. I said, mate, that is a $1,200 box of firewood. Take it away. Bring me the outdoor setting I bought it. But, Petey, have you had a go?
I'm fresh off one today. I've got 4 kids. We've got a lot of stuff in the house. So I've been packing up stuff and putting it in the garage, neatly into boxes, beautiful work. And we've had a lot of rain, and I've gone into the garage and I've noticed it's been pouring down the sides of the wall. The rain's come in and it's made all my boxes sort of soggy.
And it's
not good.
No.
So there's got to be an issue up on the roof. That's not good. So I've gone, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up there, and I happen to have some dudes painting around the house in a minute. I thought, let's get out there. I don't think jobs through before I do them, so I get the ladder out today. I set it up. I go outside. I've got my thongs on. Not great in the workwear department, the thong, when you're going to the roof area.
No.
Thongs on the ladder. Not that good.
I think recently they've, if you work on a building site, you can't wear thongs anymore.
And they're not a steel cap thong either. No. They're an open toe thong. Yeah. So I've gone up the rickety ladder on my greasy thong in my sort of pyjamas, really, and a T-shirt, not really thinking about the whole process, and gone up there, and where I would have been reasonably nimble a few years ago, I've gone, there's a bit of a jump. There's a lift. I have to lift the old body up onto the rickety tile to get to my guttering.
I'll tell you something else too. When you were younger, you couldn't imagine. Your imagination gets better. You couldn't imagine what would happen if you fell off.
That's it. Now.
Oh, very well aware.
Oh, dear.
Replayed over and over.
I've got buzzy chairs going on.
Your kids putting the straw into your mouth.
So I've been on the roof, and I'm going, OK, this is cool, I'm up, that's great. And I get to the gutter, and I just find, mud and slush, and clearly I did that last time with the gutters. Well, I've never done the gutters. No. There, I've got my bucket and I'm doing it all beautifully. And the next door neighbour's roof goes down to my roof, and I find a ball in their little draining area. So, that's probably my soggy boxes. Thanks,
if you're up there, it's your ball.
No, I kept it for sure. Yeah. And so I filled my bucket and I wriggle that way and I can't find my ladder. You go to the top rung and you lift yourself up. Yeah. And I go, oh, no. So I'm backing down and trying to feel it, going, oh, where is it? I've got myself, my legs are all kimbo dangling around. I was kind of free-balling a little bit there. I look down, there's 4 painters just going. What have you done yourself, Rachel? Come on,
Not
bring it
much.
on.
I'm Jewish. We're not good with our hands. No, that's why Jesus was crucified. He was trying to assemble a piece of IKEA furniture and it just went like this and that. I'm such an idiot. Well, you know when the council turns the water off and what you're supposed to do is not put your taps on because they've turned the water off. Yeah. And if you leave your taps on, then the water will... Well, I've run out of this place I lived in that was 2 stories once and forgot completely, left the tap on, right? And please, I hope this never happens to you. I've come into my house, which had 2 floors, and it's raining on the inside. And it's that thing you think, I'll just step out and go back in again because I must be dreaming. This isn't really happening, right? But then I've gone out and I've come out, no, there is completely, completely, because it was upstairs, so the water's come through the roof, through the floor, through everything, and the walls are going... So I think, electricity, what do I do? What do I do? And I completely panicked, right? So I've rung up some emergency number. I'm Rachel Berger, do they care? I'm Rachel Berger and I'm at home and there's electricity and there's water and there's everything and it's going to explode and I'm completely hysterical. So the guy says, put something rubber on. Why, you sex maniac? Well, I've no idea. I've got no thongs. I don't have thongs. So I go to the kid next door. All he's got is flippers. So by the time the emergency come, I'm there in a frock with flippers. I said, it's in here. It's okay, we figured. It was in.
How much water's in there, for God's sake?
Something you got rid of that you really regret. Well, personally, I'd have to say on this one, my dignity, my credibility and nearly every cent I've earned. But apart from that, absolutely no regrets.
I should just apologise straight up for the amount of stuff I've taken to the tip over the last 2 weeks.
Don't worry, I've got it.
He's fixing it all.
No, I'm having the massive clean out, and I do believe I've just gone blind a few times and gone, I'm not going through that, and just emptied it into a bag and taken to the tip.
But the people, and there's an army of, I nearly said us. There's an army of people who go through the tip.
Seagull people.
Yeah, absolutely, and the stuff you get, it's like from exactly what you're saying. Grandpa dies, just put his shed in the trailer, take it down the tip, stick it all in the thing, and then me and my wife come along and we just go, look at these chisels, you can't get them. Yeah. Hand saws that you can sharpen again. Yeah. Does anyone remember them?
Yes.
We've got 40.
Well, Rachel, I know something that you got rid of that you really regret. You actually sold me your flat a long time ago.
I did.
You did. And when I moved in, I got the place painted and there was a stain on the carpet. And, Rachel, I don't think it's giving away any secrets here to say that you're a fairly retentive type of person.
Yes.
And there was a rather large stain on the carpet in the hallway. So I got the steam cleaners in and they took up the stain. And you came around a couple of days later and you opened the door and you walked in the hallway and you fell onto the floor at the point where the stain was and started sobbing. I've tried for 10 years to clean that. How'd you do it? I said some guys came around and went, But
I regret something more. When I first started doing stand-up, you may not know this, but I compared in a strip club. As a gift, I don't know why, they gave me a video at the time of porn bloopers. So, anyway, this was hilarious, right? But in a moment of madness, I thought it was so funny. I mean, it was just the thing you want to have, at any birthday. But no, I threw it because I thought in my self-loathing that if I were to die and somebody were to come into my flat and find the porno bloopers, not only would they think, how sick was this woman? She watched porn, but broken porn. Not even normal porn. Porn of people that blooper porn. Porn where they've mucked up everything. Cheap. And the thing was, there was this dominatrix, and the blooper in this was that she had a man on the floor all tied up. Anyway, at a certain point, she couldn't, I think her name was Josephine or something, and she couldn't get the lines right. So the director said, OK, everybody just go for lunch. And the camera pans down and they've all gone, and the guy's still lying there completely. They've forgotten about him.
I was there for like 3 days before they came.
Still, you made enough money to buy that flat.
After the break, we're going to do a bit of comedy masterclass. We got like 120 years of experience in comedy on this panel. Let's go for Comedy Masterclass. Always take your wallet on stage with you.
Yes.
Very good advice.
The same bloke that told you told me.
In fact, and it was great advice from him because he was actually probably the most likely person to steal it.
Yeah.
I always do. I always take my wallet or whatever money I've got on stage. In fact, one time I got paid long time. You see, I've got. That's not my wallet. If only it's my bag, but it's with.
But it's in there.
But at one time I got. I think it was in Adelaide. Must have been in Adelaide. I think years ago I got paid in cash, and for a whole show, and it was $1,500, and I didn't actually have a wallet, so I put $750 in each cup, and then went on stage with this money in my breasts because I felt it was the only place that was secure.
Well, there's a moment in every comedian's career where they have to break the news. When you told your parents you were going to be a comedian.
I never really broke it to him because I went by default because I came from a busking kind of vibe, studenty vibe, and then went to the Lodge Joke with the comedy venue and got like $25. $25? 10 minutes, cha-ching! Couldn't believe it. And then, just
Where did
kept
you put
on
that
going.
money?
Hey?
Where did you put that money?
Oh, in my jockettes. It was all coins.
Rachel,
In rolls.
so, Rach, did you get an oive from your parents?
My mother still says, "Oh, what are you doing? Can't you just meet a doctor still? Yeah. No, they're not happy about it at all."
Man?
Well, I just didn't tell. I don't tell them anything. No, they saw me on telly once. Dad, they taped it, and Dad watched it again and said, "Look at this bit. Look at this bit." He meant to be funny there.
Let's go to my favourite segment, Exhumed. Where we dig out some old photos or videos from the past. And let's back you up straight away,
Sure.
Petey. We got a bit of a photo of you backstage at the last laugh.
Really? Oh, look.
There you are. Yeah. That was when you just escaped from the Village People. I bet.
Look, the 80s were a crazy time, what can I say? I was living the dream, my friends. That's Bob Down and obviously Gina Riley playing Horley Collo. And the last laugh was kind of, as we all know, on a Friday, Saturday night would turn a bit. There'd be, you get a lot of your punters in, and it was a pretty gay sort of a show, as you can tell by the photograph. And there'd be a lot of, hey, how you going? And they'd be going, oh, wrong show.
Anthony, got
What have you got?
a photo of you going back a fair way, I'd imagine.
Oh, look at
Look at
baby
him.
Oh,
Anthony.
look at that young
There we
fella.
go. What's
That's
the book?
Lucinda,
Lucinda?
the Little Donkey.
I've read that book. Don't they take Lucinda to the market?
Because that little fella there, he's just trying to decide whether he'll finish that book and study everything and make something of his life or start taking drugs shortly and be a comedian. So I haven't finished.
You haven't finished the book.
Don't tell me the end.
I think we've got another one here, mate. There we go. Look at that.
Isn't it beautiful? He's 4 years old there. How long do you reckon before he has his first cigarette?
That's Dealey eyes.
So the mouth a bit open. Open your mouth a bit. Open it. See this?
That was obviously pre-slip, slop, slap days too, Anthony.
Yes, and I'd been smoking for a year. Serious.
Now, Rachel, we've
I'm
got a bit to
getting
play from your absolutely wonderful show, Hold the Pickle, which I have to say is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Thanks.
It is a fantastic story, and I want to play a little bit of it now.
But I had no toys to play with either, so I just hung around on the street looking. I had no toys. I had to play with food. One time I took a salami and I put a piece of tulle around the middle. I took 2 pickles and put them in with toothpicks for arms and 2 olives with toothpick for breast. It was my salami Barbie. She was Barbie's Hungarian cousin. She had no head, but I'd grown up with that many amputees, it didn't really make a difference.
Cal, I know you plan to maybe take this to New York, Rach?
I'm trying to take it to New York to do it there.
Do you think they'll understand Jewish humour in
I
New
think
York?
they might. It's not so much Jewish, it's more about... It's a love story.
No, if you ever get the chance to see it, you'll laugh, you cry. It's a fantastic show.
Thank you.
We do have one of the two of us, Rach.
Oh, Marmalade and Berger.
Marmalade and Berger, jokes to gag on. And there we are. Have a look at that. There we go, Skilly.
What was I wearing?
Don't hold back, Rach.
There we go.
and the mullet. We didn't get to see the mullet.
I actually was borrowing Brian Mannix's hair. Fantastic. All right, let's go to sea change versus tree change. Well, Rachel, you checked out of the rat race for quite some time. You went down to Phillip Island for a couple of months to write a book, and you didn't come back for years. For 2 years?
2 years. Went down for a couple of months, didn't come back for 2 years. And unlike Anthony, grew up in a shop, so I had no idea what rural was. You know, rural was like going to the shopping centre 2 suburbs down. I had no idea. But the best thing was, I went away, I was in love with the rams. I love rams. I
I don't think we need to know this.
I don't mean romantically. I mean, I just love rams.
Okay,
And I always questioned why they didn't bring the ewes in with the rams, because I thought that was a bit weird. Anyway, they said we don't bring them together because it's actually the ewes that are more sexually aggressive. It's the ewes that attack the rams because the rams are just dopey and stuff. Shoot, they have the biggest testicles of any animal. Have you noticed them? Huge.
I've got photographs of them. I love it.
I've gone back to Melbourne for a week. I've come back. They've put the rams and the ewes together because it's that time of the year. Who knew? And I come out and they're all in the paddocks. Ewes, they've taken the rams away. They've had the rams there the day, taken them away, brought the ewes. The ewes have all got paint on their bottoms. Blue bottoms, pink bottoms, blue bottoms, pink bottoms.
Yep.
What I learnt later is that what they do is they put a bag of paint on the genital area of the ram.
Yeah, got it.
And then the ram mounts the ewe.
Yeah, done it.
So that which ram fixed up which ewe.
It's a good system.
It is, because then you know which rams are lonely. Anyway.
Isn't it hard to get the paint off you?
So difficult.
They're all the ewes, pink bottom, blue bottom, one ewe, pink face. And all the other ewes are going, we know nothing.
I had an arch enemy. I just knew from quite a young age. I was driving through the Mansfield area and we'd stopped as a whole of sheep crossing the road and I just knew I wasn't a country man. I looked out the window because I don't like flies that much.
No.
And I'm like a mad fly man. But this dude, there's a guy and he's on his horse. He had the whole look. He had a beautiful hat and it was just his head was just buzzing around and there's flies. I wound down my window. He had a beard. Like, oh, okay. There you go, mate. How's it going out there? Yeah, mate, doing pretty well, buddy. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, all right. And there was this big gust of wind, and what I thought was his beard took off. Oh, bad luck there, buddy. Go, Aussie.
All right, let's go to... It looks romantic, but it's not.
Oh, dear.
There are certain things that look romantic, but in reality, they don't quite come up. For instance, we've seen making love on the beach. But the combination of skin,
mucus
sand, and friction, not a very good combination.
Mucous membranes and grit.
Happened to me once as a teenager. So it was just foreplay, and I was just going...
Hang on, I missed
on
the first
beach.
bit.
On the beach with the girl. I was very
How
young.
old?
15.
Right.
You know.
Foreplay
14,
at 15?
Yeah, I was...
Well,
slow
what else
starter.
do you do?
Man, I was 35 before I bothered with any of that nonsense.
She mistook my writhing in pain as, whoa, we love that. I'm too scared to say anything. Make it stop. That's why I've got a tiny, tiny penis now. She it's massive.
Yeah.
And now,
Same.
gee whiz. Yeah, wore it down to nothing, to a stub.
Yeah.
You cheeky monkey.
I was circumcised by just a vindictive man.
He took off what?
It's been long. Gee, that was...
And Mum said to me, you know, and he just put it in the bin, Anthony.
And sure, while it looked romantic...
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry to be slightly off topic.
There are men. I have read that there are men that are having it redone. They put they regrow the foreskin. They put weights on it and they wear it for a long time.
Yeah, done that. Doesn't work.
We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we've got the Know Your Quiz.
Oh.
Thanks to Pure Blonde. Pure Blonde Know Your Quiz. And our quiz for this week is Know Your Inventions. Was it invented by accident or on purpose?
Oh, okay.
Okay, first up, the microwave oven. Anthony.
Accident.
Accident?
I reckon it's a byproduct of transmission of something.
You are absolutely correct, Anthony Morgan. Very well done.
Accidentally cooked your dinner.
In 1945, Percy Spencer, an American engineer, was experimenting with radio signals used in radar. While standing there, he noticed the chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. There we go.
Wow.
And it said the first microwave oven weighed about 750 pounds and was the size of a fridge. Good luck finding a bench to put that one on. Post-it notes.
I think they were intentional.
Yeah, by...
I agree. I think they're intentional, and I think maybe even... No, she invented whiteout, didn't she?
Mrs. Whiteout.
Mike. Mikey, what's his name?
Oh, yeah,
the guitarist from the Monkees.
The Monkees, yes.
Yes, indeed.
Singer.
Mike Nesmith.
Mike
right.
Nesmith's mum invented whiteout, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
might
she
have
invented
that.
post-it notes, I don't know.
Well, she said... In fact, they were invented by accident. In 1970, a researcher, Spencer Silver, was trying to formulate a strong adhesive, but only managed to make a very weak glue. A few years later, a friend of his was frustrated about pages flying out of his hymn book, and he thought of the shocking glue that his friend had made, and the rest is history.
Goodness
on the
me.
post-it notes. Next up, the esky.
On purpose.
Absolutely.
Container.
On purpose. Absolutely on
Thank you very
purpose. And who was the evil bastard who invented the foam esky?
Oh.
How was that? You know, you're ready for a big day out, you're all ready to go, and you go pick up the esky and whoa! Oh, thanks for that.
You could use the lid as a swimming device, though, which was always handy.
That's a warning on the lid of an esky.
Yes.
Another warning. This is not a flotation device.
Well, I'm a renegade.
Yeah, we'll see about that. By accident or on purpose, Velcro. Anthony?
On purpose.
By accident, as a matter of fact.
What? No!
Yes, apparently...
How can you accidentally make two halves of a thing?
I have a really scratchy stuff.
Well, a dog actually played a pivotal role in inventing Velcro. Swiss engineer George de Mestral was out hunting with his dog when he noticed the annoying tendency of birds to stick to its fur and his socks. And he experimented with a range of materials and came up with Velcro.
That's hardly accidental, Trev. I mean, I'm sorry. It's mimicry.
It's giving him an idea. Yeah.
You know, he's been inspired.
But who's
Other-
you
he
can't
didn't-
pay anybody for his inspiration.
But it wasn't an accident. He didn't accidentally mimic burrs and socks and dogs.
All right, have
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, you get
No,
the
I
point.
can't be on this show anymore. It was all right up to now, but it just got ridiculous.
The silicone breast implant.
Accident.
Accident?
But not the bit where they put it in. That's not an accident.
The first time it was. The guy with a knife and a bag of silicone tripped over.
Oh, right.
Well, they're actually both right. The silicone was by accident, but I think it found a home in breasts on purpose.
Yeah.
So I think we can give you a point each.
Thank you.
I think our winner for tonight is Anthony Morgan. And you'll be very pleased to hear, Anthony, that you have won this. Thanks, Trev. Congratulations. You've won a slab of pure blonde. That's right. You and 23 of your friends are off to your place for a quiet sip, and the quiet sip is on us. And it's beautifully presented in its own state-of-the-art cardboard carrying case. Remember to drink responsibly, or if you drink plenty, just act responsibly. You'll be the envy of your neighbours, thanks to Pure Blonde. There we go, Anthony. Very well done, and I couldn't find
I'd like
a
to
nicer
come back
home.
next week and go for the car, Trev.
Will you please thank Pete Rowsthorn, Rachel Berger, and Anthony Morgan. That's all from the Statesmen of Comedy for this week. We'll see you next time.